Welcome back to the Cairns Convention Centre. We're underway. The Wildcats and the Taipans. And the Cats with the first possession. Wilson lining up on Robbins as Redditch wants to start this game with a long bomb. It won't go, but Knight will pick up the crumbs and drop in the 2 off the glass. So a good start for the Wildcats. 2 plays nothing.
And that's what Matty Knight brings, just an aggressive attack on the offensive boards.
Here's Wilson. Down to Loughton. This will be a good matchup. 2 former teammates, Redditch and Loughton. A little fade away from Alex Loughton. Won't go. And Brad Hill, the lucky recipients, standing out, waiting for his defensive effort. But in the end, ended up with the ball against Toby. Nice little spin move and draws the foul.
Alex Loughton's really struggled since he's come back from injury, and they need to be able to get him an easy basket. Going one-on-one against Sean Redditch in the block isn't a great start to the game when you have to make that shot.
Just 8 points a game for this season, Alex Loughton, but he's only played the 2 games. As Brad Hill goes to the line for a couple of free throws to get his game underway. That one's a little short. Humour from the referees on the side as Hill goes for the second and misses the second. Loughton strong though, taking the boards. Cairns with another chance to get their first score on the board. Wilson wanting to give it off, faked and went straight through with a nice little left-handed layup.
Great hesitation from Jamal Wilson. I want to see that replay again. That looked like a fantastic pick from Big Matty Knight at the half court.
It did look pretty good, didn't it? Wilson running along with Robbins. Couldn't see Knight coming at the half court, and he was called for the offensive foul. Matt Knight. There it is there.
The only person guilty in that contest is the Cairns defenders that didn't let Jamal Wilson know there was a pick there. That's exactly what you want your big guys to do, what Matty Knight did. Wipe off Wilson at the half court to set his guards up.
Here's Warren. Now to Loughton. Going to go against Redditch. Dishes it out to Wilson. Here's the little speedy guard. Robbins will want to stop him early. That shot a little long, and Cam Toby takes the boards. Just 1 point last night for Cam Toby, but did have 10 rebounds. He'd need to score them more than 1 point, you'd have to say, to keep the pressure on Cairns. The shot blocks from Knight by Croswhite, but Sean Redditch cleans it up with the 2.
I think that's the thing about Perth, though, Lockie, is that he doesn't have to score a whole lot of points. He can have 10 rebounds, play good defense, and it might be somebody else's night. I guess when the team's struggling to be able to score, that's when he needs to be able to step up.
Croswhite with the little traditional left-hander. It's a little long again, so 4 plays too. The Wildcats starting well early in this game as Lish stands outside the 3-point arc, and bang, in it goes.
And see, on the defensive end, Andrew Warren can't go to the ball handler and leave someone like Kevin Lish. He's averaging 21 points a game, and they've left him naked on the 3-point line.
So it's 7-2. It's a 5-point margin. Here's Warren, loses the handle on it, and then an offensive foul. He pushed him in the face. Kevin Lish feeling it. So that might be a little unlucky. It was just a reaction.
I think he definitely pushed off, but back to that last play by Lish, is that's a scouting report thing. You can't let the opposing 3-point shooters get into the game with an open one, because he's the sort of player that can reel off 4 or 5 in a row.
So the Wildcats 7. Taipans 2. Redditch has it. Croswhite up against him. Here's Lish. He'll be keen to take on Croswhite. He does take on Croswhite. Trying to get it off the glass, then tried to tap it in himself, the little man. It didn't go, and there's a foul on Robbins as Wilson tried to barge his way through.
And in theory, that's not a bad foul by Brad Robbins in the backcourt. I'm just looking to see whether that's his second, though.
The Taipans in their front court. Loughton, the pass inside the hill, up against Toby. 2 rock-solid players in this competition, and the basket is just rolling around. There's something wrong with that net as Lish decides just to keep on going, and Warren gets called for another one. Really liked his aggression this year, Kevin Lish. He probably tried to be too much of a team player in his first 2 years. This year, you'd have to say that Rob Beveridge has said, mate, you're the scorer, go and score the points.
I totally agree with you, and I think it started in that grand final game when they won the championship a couple of years ago. He had a massive game. He's the sort of player that can go and put numbers on the board, and he's got players that can complement him around them. He can do it by taking good shots, but being aggressive in opportunities like he just did then, and he can put his head down and get himself to the line.
So Lish makes the first and the second, and he's got himself out to 5 points, the American import. So just one foul for Matty Knights, one foul for Cam Toby, and one to Brad Robbins, and two for Warren at this stage in the game, as they've broken down that press from the Wildcats. Wilson couldn't get in towards the basket. This is a mismatch. Croswhite up against Toby, but Redditch comes in to help out. The pass to Wilson outside the three. Those are the sort of shots that the imports have to shoot. A steal, though. Brad Hill finishes it off with a 2 off the glass. 9-4 is the score.
Delay of game warning. Brad took it to do it to me. He's not allowed to touch it.
Good job by Brad Hill. And as you say, they need to be able to knock down shots, the Cairns Taipans. They're not going to get that many opportunities against a team like the Perth Wildcats, but Brad Hill, get his points on the board, get that confidence up, because he's somebody that can certainly help them.
Good hands from Wilson, causing the turnover. It's a lively one as Williams comes on. Croswhite, here he is again. Must hit it. It's a little wayward and off target again, and a Wildcats ball.
It's a real balancing act when you play against the Perth Wildcats, because for someone like Cairns, they don't want to run up and down against a more talented team, but at the same time, when they break the pressure, they have to give them a penalty, and they have to take good shots and try and make them.
Sean Redditch going all the way. And an offensive foul for Sean Redditch. Loughton had good position there underneath the basket.
And a step back, please. Thank you.
So foul for Redditch, and it's 9-4 is the score. 5 points is the margin. Once again, the Cats pressing up as Luke Neville prepares to come on the court. It was wide open there. Loughton smashed Knight to the ground. There's a turnover. Toby off and racing. Oh, Redditch wasn't watching. The pass came to him, and Williams will steal it. So a bit of sloppy basketball right now. 9-4 is the score.
Yeah, bad turnover from Toby, but again, that's what Perth make you do. They speed the game up and put pressure on your decision-making, like that.
Great read of the play from Cam Toby. His pass to Lish puts him under pressure. Now it's with Redditch to Knight. Nice, easy jumper from Matt Knight, just inside the three-point arc. It's 11-4 now. They're looking pretty rock solid right now, Shane Hill.
It's nice when your five-man can pop out. Almost a three-point shot. It just looks automatic.
So Williams, the point guard right now for the Taipans, who trail by 7.
Hands on!
Gone about 5 minutes in this first quarter. Hill knocking down Lish, and then the hands in there for Matt Knight will make it a 10. Taipans ball. Neville and Wagstaff coming onto the court. A couple of nice changes for the Cats.
They've just got so much depth. When you bring two Australian representatives in the off-season straight into your team, and they certainly do, and two guys that play hard. I like Jesse Wagstaff. I went and watched a couple of the Boomers practice sessions, and he just goes hard and competes night in, night out.
He's had a bit of an up-and-down season. You just wonder, because he's not getting a lot of minutes, and sometimes, you know, well, he's not a starter for one, but sometimes he doesn't know where he fits, you'd have to say, as the shot misses for the Taipans.
Well, that's always a balancing act when you go 10 deep, of keeping everybody happy and keeping everyone in rhythm, so you actually can play your best basketball whilst you're playing a role.
Cross court for Kevin Lish. Just a couple of turnovers that wouldn't be impressing Rob Beveridge. And we'll have a timeout here at the Convention Centre. The Wildcats have started well. They're 11, the Taipans 4. We've got 5 minutes remaining before quarter time.
You could be my black Kate Mouse tonight.
Off the dribble here. Now Bobby going over the top.
flash. Throw it to the post, back cut. They're all over this, boys. Okay, so we're looking for a back cut, quarter flash. We're happy with yellow on the on ball? Yellow the on ball. Yellow the on ball. Stay with it. 3, 2, 1.
Good to see Luke Neville into the game early, Shane, because last night he was the shining light in a terrible night for the Wildcats. Had 22 points, shot at 70% from the field and had 7 rebounds. That's exactly what you want from a 7'2" giant.
Well, the thing I like about Neville being in this lineup that makes the Perth Wildcats so strong is they put so much full-court pressure on, and if you are going to pressure, you need something big behind that can block shots and be able to make something happen. But then on the offensive end, they have to be able to use him. Beveridge really didn't use Shencher in his lineup a couple of years ago, and Shencher's gone on to become a great player for Townsville.
Croswhite with it. Defence is pretty rock solid for the Wildcats at the moment. Williams up against Lish as Croswhite is down on the post against Neville. He's keen to take him on. Neville did swat it away, but there was a foul just beforehand. And he was called for that one, his first.
And I like that by Aaron Fern. Good play to be able to get Croswhite the ball. The other area they'll be able to utilise against the big fella in Neville is getting him the ball on the elbow, so he's got space to bring it through to his left hand.
Still 11-4 the score. 7 points to margin as Croswhite can make it 6 with this shot. He does.
He's been a good player over the years, Croswhite.
And he drops the second, so he's on the board there, Croswhite. And it's a better margin now for the home side. 11-6 is that score, 5 points in it. We've gone a little over 5.5 minutes in this first term as Robbins has it. The pass, not so good. And the fast break could be promising. Dowdell against his old side. Big swat away from Cam Toby. Great defence from him. Well, still a Taipans ball.
The decision-making from the Perth Wildcats with 6 turnovers in the first 6 minutes of this game hasn't been good and would be worrying Rob Beveridge.
Wilson with it. To the post again. Toby double-teaming Croswhite. Whip it out to Williams, then to Hill. Drives through the key. Now it's with Wilson. Good ball movement from the Taipans. The basket doesn't go. Robbins into the front court to Toby. Now it's with Wagstaff to Neville. He popped one from there last night. It's pretty keen for him to do it again, but he was covered nicely by Dowdell to Lish. Up against Williams. The jumper, a little short, as Williams did very well to get the ball away, and Dowdell will slide it in for a 2.
A little Euro step from Dowdell on the break, if you don't mind.
Exactly, and Williams is good as well as Lish gets called for an offensive foul.
The Perth Wildcats have lost their way. That's their 7th turnover now in this quarter. They need to slow things down. They need to get a target, run through their system, and go to their strengths.
And is this just maybe a result of last night? They're just trying to step it up a little bit after being disappointed last night and go a little bit harder and try and maybe force it a little bit more?
Yeah, maybe, but I think the good teams can adjust to the tempo and be able to play fast and up-tempo and be able to slow it down and execute at the same time.
Here's Dowdell, so a better couple of minutes from the Taipans. If they could just hit some of those longer shots